Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, we're going to talk a potential bombshell development in WWE as Dave Meltzer tweets and deletes that Cody Rhodes refused to wrestle The Rock. I'm Andy Murray.
I'm Adam Wilborn, and this is the news.
So, obviously, we have to address the elephant in the room, first of all. I'll kind of caveat this one. Before we dive into the bulk of all of this, Dave tweeted this last night, Dave Meltzer, and then deleted it within a couple of minutes, right? So putting two and two together, I'm usually of the view that if you delete something from Twitter, it's because you don't want to stand by it.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want it being out there longer than it was. Maybe you think, oh, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have put that out there.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly like he accidentally tweeted this. He would have typed it all out, tweeted it. Like, that's a lot of work to go, oh no, I was meant to be a message to someone.
It was a whole ass paragraph as well. It wasn't like it was 2 lines. But basically, about 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. on the East Coast, Dave Meltzer was replying to someone talking about the whole situation with Cody Rhodes, The Rock, John Cena, CM Punk, a bunch of other people, WrestleMania, main event, all that. He tweeted the following. This is exactly what he tweeted. The motivation is that Dwayne wanted Cody, and I know this as a fact because a mutual friend last week mentioned the politics, as Levesque absolutely thought it was a terrible idea. But in a fight with Dwayne with Nick Khan as the arbiter, he loses every time. However, several convinced Cody to simply refuse to wrestle Dwayne. So art was a lot like life this time. Dwayne wouldn't go after Cody politically, so he let it go. Cena was the second choice, and Cena was fine with it. Punk was never asked to wrestle Cody, presumably. So the situation there is that what Dave's describing is that The Rock wanted to wrestle Cody at WrestleMania. Paul Levesque thought it was a bad idea, but he will lose a political argument in that situation because Nick Khan is the WWE president. He's much more powerful than Triple H. Some people think Triple H runs the company. It's not true. And The Rock is on the board of directors for TKO. Also more powerful than Triple H. The Rock, however, did not want to upset Cody.
Yeah.
People convinced Cody to say no. The Rock didn't want to upset him, so they moved on to the Cena thing. Now, the Cena thing manifested marvelously at Elimination Chamber with the all-time great heel turn. Sensational bit of business. And now we have like a really sick WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
But, and again, you have to keep this story at arm's length because, you know, maybe Dave was like, someone's told him this, he's put out there and going, I shouldn't have put that.
Can't double source it or whatever.
Yeah, maybe he's not double sourced it. I don't know. At the end of it all, if it was true, right? Assuming this is correct, it does kind of explain some of the kerfuffle earlier in the year.
Yes.
Right? On the Raw debut on Netflix, The Rock kind of blowing up the Cody story a little bit and then getting all bothered on NXT the next night. That would logically fall in line with what has been said here. Not saying it definitely happened, but if you were to establish a chain of events, I think that would be a believable one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be fascinated to know the timeline of this because it doesn't sound like when he popped up on the Raw Raw Netflix debut that he was eyeing up a match with Cody at WrestleMania. Because why would you be like, we're all pals now, 3 months out from potentially fighting and dethroning him, for example. So it feels like this has maybe been a later addition to the card, or a conversation at least to be had, because we all heard the reports as well of. It did seem in January that was going to be it for The Rock in terms of WrestleMania plans, and then he almost reacted to the people reacting to him not being at WrestleMania. It was like, well, fine, I'll be at WrestleMania then.
Yeah.
So maybe the decision has been made then, or maybe even closer to Elimination Chamber than we may ever realise, that he decided. I'm kind of glad. Like, I really wanted The Rock versus Cody Rhodes immediately after WrestleMania last year. But after the Rumble, and with all the people who qualified for the Elimination Chamber, how would that have worked?
Yeah.
You've won the Elimination Chamber, congratulations, but unfortunately, The Rock is taking your spot.
The Rock's being an asshole.
The Rock's fighting Cody, so you're going to have to fight Gunther and I don't know how that would have worked. It would have been a real mess, in my opinion, and completely undercut people's confidence in, like, well, yet again, sort of flashback to the old version of WWE. Why invest in anyone if someone could just come along in February and be like, I'll take that, thank you very much. By the way, what a funny sentence that second choice John Cena is. Because, I mean, in the history of, I suppose I'll settle for that. John Cena turning heel for the first time in over 20 years isn't a bad fallback plan. I mean, it's perfect the way it's fallen, isn't it? Like, the pivot last year and now this, they are burning through their luck, aren't they?
Yeah, this is what I like the second choice thing. I think that's a really interesting thing to isolate because, like, I don't think that this was WWE's second choice. In fact, this was probably a lot of people in WWE's first choice. I think that because Dave writes weird. I think that perhaps maybe this was The Rock's second choice, right? It's like, well, if I can't wrestle, I will sponsor someone to wrestle.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It
I'm
makes
just speculating.
far more sense in this timeline as well.
Yeah, we're just picking this thing apart, man. We're not saying we fully believe it or whatever. We're just exploring every possibility here because I think it's a fun thing to do. The Rock is the straw that stirs the drink a lot of the time in the year of our Cody 2025.
Yeah.
And yet, we've known it's been a whole complex situation for the past couple of years with Rock. He has this executive power. And look, if he wanted to resist Cody saying no and go, no, you're doing it, he absolutely could.
Yeah, thank God he does respect Cody enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he probably just recognizes actually pissing off the top guy in the company is maybe not a good idea. But he could, and Cody's such a pro that he would probably go, well, I think this is a bad idea, but I will do it.
Yeah.
And he would do it to the fullest. This is a man who performed Stardust to the fullest. For years.
He always gives his all.
Exactly, even though he absolutely hated it. Cody's a pro, man, and the Dwayner is chaotic. What is the phrasing he used? Unpredictable and unruly.
Yeah,
or something
bold.
Like bold and disruptive.
Disruptive
that's
and dangerous and all that. Yeah.
The disruptor, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the people's champion, the final boss.
Yeah, that's the thing. In a world of kayfabe, it would just be Dwayne's using his shoot power to insist on being in the main event of WrestleMania. And like there was pictures throughout last year of how this could have worked. I myself was saying, maybe it would work if he says, I'm number 30 or number 31 even in the Royal Rumble. Like, people wouldn't have been as concerned about that, I think, because you're still going via the sort of traditional routes. If you just go, I'm in charge, so I'm fighting them, well, what's stopping half the other people deciding, actually, I've got a bit of power, so I'll be deciding this, this, and this. It just would completely undercut everything. And the way it's worked out, in terms of the John Cena thing, is really good because sometimes a fallback would be like, right, well, if it's not going to be The Rock, then The Rock is going to sponsor, like, just as an example, I don't want to use CM Punk because actually that would have worked quite nicely as well. The Rock's going to sponsor Kevin Owens to fight Cody Rhodes. You'd be like, huh? How does that work? Whereas with like John Cena, it makes all the sense in the world. They've got a great deal of history together, and John Cena, following the Royal Rumble, clearly has had internally this thought process of like, maybe I still can't get it done anymore, but there's one way I can guarantee that 17th world title, and that's teaming up with The Rock.
Dwayne and going heel and being evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I think after Elimination Chamber, this is a better match. Cena versus Cody, right? Like, I still want The Rock Cody at some point, but like...
I still want Punk Cody as well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is a good situation to be in. John Cena's a heel. It's going to do great business. It's going to be great. It's already been great for the content. We've had a great week covering this stuff. So it shows, and that's not a flex. That's just showing that people are invested in this.
And I know it's like, we're in the bubble, and it's sort of not the thing anymore that wrestling really, even despite how huge it is right now, really captures the imagination. But this John Cena thing is everywhere. I know it's within our bubble across social media, and there's memes and there's, video packages that people have made. They're all awesome, by the way. I love them. But like, Jon Stewart was referencing it on his show, of course. He was comparing that to the Zelensky, Putin, Trump situation with each player, Cody, Rock, and Cena playing a separate role in all that. And like, even like, I hate when we talk about what brings back casual fans. Nothing, right? A lot of the time, if you've gone, you've gone. But like, the most casual fan in the world would be like, John Cena's a heel.
Yeah, and everyone anecdotally has a story about one mate who randomly messaged them and went, "Do you hear John Cena turned heel?" It's like, yeah, I'm in the business, brother. It's huge. The Cena heel turn is absolutely monstrous.
It's far, far, far better in my opinion. I would have been in a grump. I'd have got over it, but I'd have been in a grump if it was just Cena Cody, but they're just both good guys.
Good guys. Yeah, this is much more interesting. I agree. So it's like a whole degree of chaos, and I know there's like cover your ears. The Let It Play Out Brigade will tell you that all of this was planned from minute one. And the Triple
Even
H...
I can't sell that one, brother.
Yeah, like, and the Triple H is sitting in these press conferences speaking the truth all the time and saying, does it feel like WrestleMania season now? And it's like, mother effer, you just adapted to your circumstances. I think it's always good to apply a healthy dose of cynicism to everything in wrestling. When it comes to like stories and backstage stuff, it's always good to question things, I think, and that's what we try and do here. We've sat here for like 10 minutes now and just picked this thing apart because it's fun, and like part of the joy of me about covering wrestling is not just the fiction, it's not just the great matches, the great angles, the great promos, stories. It's the backstage finagling. Man. This is a dirty political business, and we don't hear about it often in 2025, but when we do, like we are here, sticks out.
It's weird, isn't it? I remember when I first took this job, I thought, is this going to maybe sort of not ruin, but change the way I enjoy wrestling? Because, you know, a lot of the times previously, I'd be like, I don't want any spoilers, even like people who people think are going to win the Rumble or whatever. In reality, no one knows anything half the time. Yeah. So, like we were talking about Drew McIntyre last week, whether that was true or not, plans change, who knows? But like, it just, as you say, adds this extra wrinkle to it all. And particularly in 2024 and 2025, it is fascinating. Yeah. It makes all the sense in the world now why Triple H was like, let's get through this bloodline stuff at the end of last year. Yeah. Because he was like, I get a feeling he's going to come back and he's going to want to involve himself. And if I'm trying to just finish off these little flourishes on my bloodline story, nah, bollocks to that. I'm the final boss and we're doing what I say.
Destroy everything.
Like you say, it could all be, not bollocks, but it all could be misinformation, let's say.
Sure.
With the way that Dave has handled this story in terms of just saying, you know what, you know, he's got a lot of tweets out there. Like, even this, I'm just going to be like, and I know once you delete things from the internet, they're not necessarily gone, but this is not him saying, no, I stand by it, this is what happened. We don't know, we may never know what the real story is, but I can believe this one.
Yeah, me too. Like, I do think that if you follow a logical path, and you think about these things critically, and you know the history of wrestling and politics and these egos in play, I think it's conceivable. I really do. I'm not saying that I'm taking this deleted tweet by Dave as gospel. It's just one of those things. So like, and look, if I'm Cody Rhodes, I can absolutely imagine going, no, I don't want to do that, Rockafin Johnson.
Yeah.
I would rather do something else. I don't want this match. Triple H thought it was a terrible idea. I can see Triple H thinking it was a terrible idea because it interrupts his plans. CM Punk not being in the equation, yeah, sure. Like, I mean, look, I love CM Punk, but The Rock and John Cena are bigger WrestleMania matches for Cody Rhodes. As much as we've loved the in-ring. Here's a good acid test for that, actually. Rock and Cody, Cena, Punk and Cody, those in-ring segments. Rewatch the latest one,
Still
right?
got them.
We loved them. Everyone online loved them. In the arena, all those AEW references, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Live crowds are going to be far more invested in this John Cena thing, I think. And look, it's huge. Heel Cena is legitimately huge. The Rock is a disruptor. I don't know why Dave deleted the tweet, but he did.
Yeah, this is the thing, just to circle back to that Punk thing, because I was very much of the opinion that Punk should either win the Rumble or the Chamber. And just do it. Just do Cody versus Punk. You might not get it again. We never got, like Punk versus Kenny Omega when he was in AEW, and we may never get that, unfortunately, now. So just do it now. However, even I will admit, as much as I loved CM Punk, it's the right call. It's the right call to make. You get that awesome Punk promo from Monday night. That was... elements of reality probably factored into that one, but we're still getting something awesome probably with him and Rollins and maybe even Roman Reigns, obviously. And then, like, I would have been disappointed, as I said, with just Cena versus Cody, but it's Cena's last year, and it's heel Cena versus Cody with the final boss. You only get to do this once. Do it.
This is it. It's a historic landmark match. You will never have the opportunity to do it again. Do it now. Maybe they can do The Rock and Cody next year. I don't necessarily think Cody's going to be champion for 2 years. Actually, I think he's losing it to Cena at Mania. But yeah, interesting. And look, I'm sure you've already chimed in, if you're going to chime in.
Yeah.
It's Dave Meltzer. People have their opinions on Dave. But let us know what you think of this story down in the comments below. And once you've done that, check out this video right here. It is the best story every year since 1989. Wow.
Give it a click. Go on.
Click
After
the-
news later on today. Bye.
Yeah.